notification. Now broadcasting.
Alongside Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. And Chris, conditions not ideal for this one, at least not for the offense. The wind is howling in from the outfield.
Yeah, guys are going to hit some balls really hard, and they're just going to be routine fly balls to the outfield. Very frustrating for the hitters, but I tell you what, defensively, you really like it because you can play a little bit deeper but be aggressive on everything off the bat coming in.
It's the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs. First pitch coming at you right after the break. Now the starting pitcher in this one, Matthew Boyd. Chris, what are you looking for from him?
This guy usually turns in a very good outing. His teammates really enjoy when he's on the mound. Everyone seems to be loose, which can help the offense be a bit more dangerous. So if you look at the opposing lineup, they're hoping he doesn't just settle in. They want to make this an uncomfortable start from the beginning.
Ground ball left side. Oh, can't pick it up cleanly. Safe at first, no play. We'll see how they score this.
Well, that started and ended pretty quickly. No messing around right there. And now let's see if they force some action with good wheels on the bases.
Stepping in, Mason Wynn. Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. Lead runner holds up. They're at first and second with nobody out. Now here is Alec Burleson. On the ground right side. Bush steps on the bag, and that is a big first out. And now it's Ivan Herrera. Golden opportunity right here. Swing and a high fly ball to left. That's out number 2.
That is it. The third baseman, number 16.
Here's Nolan Gorman. Ripped to third, but handled, and that'll end the inning. So the Cards strand a couple. Now the back here at the friendly confines. And for the Cardinals here this afternoon, Dustin May. What do you have on him, Siggy? Leading off, Michael Bush.
Ball 1. Ball 2.
Bush tries to check his swing. Now a look to third. And that's ruled a swing. It's a strikeout. Here's a look at the Cubs lineup. This is a veteran-led lineup right here. A lot of players with plenty of experience, Siggy.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Boog. These players have been around the game for a long time, and they may not have the flash that they once did, but they've got the wisdom to be able to understand different situations, be able to think with the opponent and sometimes in front of the opponent, And you always seem to see a team like this. They come to the ballpark, they know how to get down to business, and they understand what the job is at hand.
Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. Here's a 1-2. Hit softly on the ground to third. Gorman slings to first, and here this afternoon, 2 quickly away in the bottom of the first. Ian Happ up to hit. The Happ Daddy. Fastball for a strike.
Well, in an 0-0 count, not every strike is a good strike for a hitter. I like the plate discipline there.
Ripped to short, snagged on a bounce. Gets it to first, and the Cubs go 1-2-3. We played it. Top of the second. Now it's the right fielder, Jordan Walker. Swing and a ball lined out towards center. 1 down. So up next, Nathan Church. Base knock center field. And that's a 1-out single.
Batting it, the catcher.
Here's the catcher, Pedro Pajes. Runner on the go. There's a ball. Transfer bobbled, and there's no throw. Man at second. Shot into the gap, and that should bring in the run. Rounds third, headed for the plate. He scores, and they have the lead. Pulls into second. That's an RBI double.
Well, that was a great job of letting that runner steal second base, get in the scoring position, come through with the base knock. You add a run.
Next to hit, Victor Scott. And he drops it down the third baseline. Picks it up with a bare hand to first, and he beats it. Everyone's safe.
This was the perfect spot to drop the bunt for a hit. I mean, he used his bat as a tool up there to direct the ball exactly where he wanted it to go and look smooth doing it at the same time. Really well done. And the defense right there stood no chance.
2 on, 1 out. And a bunt towards third. And foul ball. Line drive, base hit. And they stop him at third, so bases loaded with 1 away. Mason Wynn now at the plate. 1 for 1 with a single so far. Fouls away the first offering.
Well, all eyes on the double play ball in this spot. No better way to get out of this inning.
And the 0-1. Up the middle. Oh, look at the stop. Flips it. He is safe.
Up next for the Cardinals.
All loaded up. Alec Burleson next up for the Cardinals. Rounded out his first time up. Fouled off. He was late.
He's a bad ball hitter, so even if you get him to chase pitches outside the zone, he still might beat you. Not an easy out by any means.
Comes up empty. That's strike 2. Movement in the Cubs bullpen. Ben Brown up and throwing for manager Craig Counsell. Ray also throwing. Got him swinging for the K. Huge strikeout there. Now it's the DH, Ivan Herrera. Fly to left his first time. Base hit, 1 run in already. Here's the throw. It's offline, and he scores. And they lead by 4.
Well, there you go. The RBI machine. Another clutch run scoring at bat.
Yeah, he's been so good in these situations. Call it clutch if you want, but his resume speaks for itself. And here is Nolan Gorman. Strike 2.
That pitch started in and ended up on the outside edge. Just changing planes and very difficult, especially for a left-handed hitter to track.
2 on, 2 outs. Swings and misses. Struck him out. Inning ends. Bottom of the second. Now the Cubs 4-hole hitter, Nico Horner. That one to first. Burleson takes it to the bag. One pitch and one out. Pete Crow Armstrong will hit next.
Ball. Down.
To the right side. Fair ball. Around first and hustling for second. The throw in, but he's in there easily.
Man, he just absolutely turned on that one. Ripped it down the line. Nice job of staying in his mechanics.
Kelly.
One out and a runner at second. Bottom half of inning number 2. Pitch misses. Ball 1. On the ground to the left. Slings to first in time. Moises Ballesteros getting ready to hit.
Aye.
And there's the strike.
And a bat like this is almost over as it begins. And
he can't come up with it. Gets off a throw there with plenty of time, and that ends the inning. Top half of the 3rd inning, and stepping in for the Cardinals, Jordan Walker.
You know, these Cards really producing with runners on. It's been a right place, right time kind of game for them. They put a bunch of runs on the board, thanks in large part to 4 hits with runners in scoring position.
And it's fouled away. That one fouled hard the other way. Cuts on it and misses. That's a strikeout. That K is his 3rd of the game. Now here is Nathan Church. 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored so far. First pitch swinging.
Filling up the strike zone hasn't been the problem so far. It's the quality of the strikes. That's been the real issue. And you look at the first
Happy Thursday. Hi, peoples.
What's up, Dan? What's up, Dan?
Fouls that off to the left, and we'll do it again. Swings and misses. It's a strikeout. And that's 4 strikeouts. 2 down, bases empty. Here's the catcher, Pedro Pajes. And there's a foul ball.
These guys look to be pressing at the plate a bit. They're swinging at pitches that are clearly balls, just trying to make something happen. The best approach is that relaxed approach.
And that'll do it. Set for the bottom of the 3rd. Digging in, Dansby Swanson. And a sweeper misses for a ball. Foul ball. So a foul ball makes it 1-2. Comes up empty as he chases that one in the dirt. Gets him. 1 away on a drop 3rd strike. And here is Michael Conforto. Outside corner, there's a strike. 0-1 gets a check swing. Appeal to 3rd. Yes, he did. That's a swing. The 0-2. Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row.
Dominating strikeout there on just 3 pitches, and that's what a good power pitcher can do to you. If he's hitting his spots, filling up the strike zone, sometimes he bats over before it really begins.
Bush stands in with 2 away as he takes a ball.
Let's see if he's willing to use the whole field right here. Definitely pounding him away.
Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2.
It's a tough pitch, but in terms of the best pitch you're going to get to hit in the at-bat, that fastball was down enough where you're going to catch up to one. That's the one. When he elevates, hitters aren't touching it.
The next offering misses, and the count is filled up. Battling here as he fouls it away. Struck him out swinging. He battled for a long time, but it finishes with a strikeout. Here at Wrigley Field, on to the fourth. Well, he's been knocked around pretty good so far, but they've got him back out there at least to begin the inning.
Yeah, and you wonder just the strength and perhaps the health of that bullpen for him to go back out there. But he's taking this one for the team. Perhaps he can stabilize things and the offense can score some runs for him.
Back to the leadoff spot in the St. Louis lineup. J.J. Weatherholt digs in now. 2 for 2, so he's got to be feeling good right now.
He's turning a special day into something magical with how easy he's making it look at the plate.
And first offering is fouled off. Swings through that one for strike 2. Gets a piece, and it stays 0-2. Right side, hard hit. On to first. Now 2 away. Mason Wynn next up for the Cardinals. Hammered down the right side, but foul. 2 down, nobody on. Top half of inning number 4. Swing and a miss, and he was fooled. This one in the air. Bregman drifts towards it. Brings it in, and that'll do it. Nothing doing there for St. Louis, but they lead it 4-0. Bottom 4, now it's Alex Bregman.
Third baseman, number 3, Alex Bregman.
And foul ball.
You know, these Cubs just lacking discipline at the plate in this ball game. They're chasing a lot of pitches outside the zone, and those chases that are turning into a bunch of outs. Can they turn that around and stay within the zone? We'll see, but I think they have to.
And it's a leadoff double to start the bottom of the 4th. Runner in scoring position, no outs. Ian Happ, the next to hit. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. Got him swinging. Not what you're looking for after the leadoff double. A strikeout, and there's 1 away. Now there's a bullet down the line. Can't get to it, and this should score the run. Runner scores from second as they get one back. And he'll reach second with 1 away. Pete Crow Armstrong, the next Cub to hit. Hey.
Nope. Ball 1.
Check swing called strike. And a count 1-2. Stays alive. Man at second.
Ball 2.
Good job to fight that one off. The 2-2 on the way. Swings through it for the K. The high heat, too much on that one. And now the batter is Carson Kelly.
The catcher, Carson.
That one's in there. That's
Kelly.
strike 1. Runner at second, 2 down. And that one is lifted in the air. That is the inning. Cubs pick up a run on the RBI double. We're back, and there's a new arm on the mound to start the 5th. Caleb Thielbar.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their players a chance to fight back into the game.
Burleson in the box as he fouls off the first pitch.
You know, these Cardinals putting together some really good at-bats in this game. There's been a lot to like with how they're approaching their chances at the plate. It looked to me like they really wanted to get to the starter early, get him out of the game before he settles in. So I'd say mission accomplished.
Got him swinging for the strikeout. Went back to the sweeper, and it was effective. Ivan Herrera will hit next. He's a catcher by trade, but the DH here in this one. 0-1. Herrera, 25 years old, and he was born in Panama. That one close, ruled a ball. Ball one. Swing and a ground ball. Bregman to first. And the first two set down to the top of the fifth. 2 outs, base is empty. Now at the plate, Nolan Gorman.
3-pitch strikeout last time up. Got to put up more of a fight in this one. This guy's usually not one to chase pitches off the plate, but he did there. We'll see if he can tighten up his zone a little bit.
And a big swing and a miss.
Man, he was really tardy on that fastball. Great job of setting him up by throwing the curveball. Add some velocity to it on the next pitch. Can't catch up.
And a swing and a miss. And that's that. Redbirds down. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. Now it'll be the Cubs DH, Moises Ballesteros.
You know, these Cubs, simply put, are producing a lot of quality swings. We've already seen 8 line drives from them, and it's always a good sign when the ball is jumping off your bat. And that's what this offense has been doing so far today.
The 0-2. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. Picks up strikeout number 7.
Well, he's showing some pretty dominating stuff out there in this one, not just in terms of swing and miss, but also in terms of command. You know, all of the strikeouts, they just kind of speak for themselves, but when you don't walk anyone, you're demonstrating that you have the confidence in your abilities to truly go right after opposing batters.
Got him swinging for the strikeout. Strikeout number 8. 2 down, base is empty. The batter will be Michael Conforto. That one to first. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. Welcome back. A few highlights to help tell the story of the game.
Now pitching for
The new
Cubs,
pitcher in the game,
number
Jacob
71.
Webb.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
Stepping in, Jordan Walker. Can't make contact with the sweeper. Fights it off. He'll see another. And a pop-up right side, foul territory. 1 away. And up next for St. Louis, Nathan Church. 1 for 2. Swing and a pop-up in foul ground. Has room, and he makes the catch.
Man, he just couldn't lay off right there. Those high fastballs, they just look really good because they're eye level, but they're just about impossible to get the barrel to.
Pages at the plate now, and that's strike 1. Two down, nobody on, and he chases a high fastball there. Got him swinging. Back here at Wrigley Field, here's the Cubs leadoff man, Michael Busch.
When a guy's throwing a lot of first pitch strikes as a hitter, you got to be ready to hit. Now, that's not going to help you get deep into his pitch count and into the bullpen, but you got to take what he's offering that day.
So a runner aboard to start the inning. And now it's Alex Bregman.
Ball.
Now this team is definitely looking for a big swing of the bat right here. Try to close that gap. But, you know, at the very least, if you could find a way to manufacture that run from first, it feels like it's really important to getting back into this ballgame.
Popped up. And there's one down. One out man at first. Ian Happ, the next Cub to hit. Hit hard but foul off to the left. And that one fouled off. The 0-2.
Ball. That pitch is out.
Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout.
Well, he just had no answer for that hard inside fastball right there. Just blew it by him. And not every pitcher likes working inside, especially with two strikes. They don't want to hit.
Play made. That ends the inning. Welcome back. We're in the seventh. We have a new pitcher on the mound, Obi Milner.
Bringing in the lefty with the left-handed hitter coming up to hit. Classic bullpen move right here, so we'll see how it works out. 0-1.
Now a drag bunt, third base side, and it goes just foul. Got him. One away.
He's really good hitting the baseball the other way, so credit the pitcher for having him out in front of that pitch. Clearly he had him fooled.
So far in his major league debut, he's got 2 hits in his first 3 at-bats.
He's having a great day at the plate, Boog. A multi-hit game is a great way to start your career.
And the 0-1. Sliced hard but foul. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a ball lifted in the air. And that will fall. And they have their first base runner since the 2nd inning.
Up next for the Cardinals,
Mason Wynn next up for the Cardinals. Out towards right center. That's well struck. Carrying well. That's down. One hops off the wall. Coming home. And they're up by 4.
Well done. Drives in the run. I'll tell you, when you smoke the line drive into the gap like that, I mean, sure, home runs are king, but I feel like nothing makes you feel.
Lined, and that's a base hit. Headed for the plate. He'll score. It's an RBI single. It's 6-1.
Puts a run on the board and picks up an RBI. That pretty much split the zone down the middle, and those are the ones where you got to make them pay.
Now it's going to be Ivan Herrera. Bounced up the middle. There's one. Double play. What a clean killing to end the inning. Bottom of the 7th. Leading off. Pete Crow Armstrong. And first offering is fouled off. Chases that one upstairs. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Carson Kelly, the next Cub to hit. And that's downstairs.
That's
and that's ball 1. Next offering is fouled back. The Cardinals leading by 5 here at the bottom of the 7th.
Ball.
on the inside corner for called strike 3. Kelly thought that one missed, and here comes a challenge. So the call will stand. That knocks them down to 1 challenge left. 2 outs, base is empty. And up next for Chicago, Moises Ballesteros. On the ground, right side. Handles, throws to first. 3 up, 3 down. Back here at the friendly confines. They put themselves out in front with a nice display at the plate. Take a look at the spray chart for where their hits have landed.
Yeah, when a team has this many knocks, a lot of the time it gets clustered to one side or another. Not today. They're hitting it all over the field.
This one in the air, center field. Crow Armstrong gets under it. And there's 1 down. Jordan Walker now at the plate. 0 for 3 in this one. Out towards right center field. Crow Armstrong on his way over. Pulls it down, and he makes the catch.
That's just a really nice catch.
New pitcher in the game for the Cubs, Ben Brown.
And with the big deficit on the scoreboard, he almost has to just put that out of his mind. Every outing matters for relievers and their numbers, but I think it's tough to get up for this type of appearance the same way you would for one in a close game.
Strike 2.
The high fastball, particularly for young hitters, can be hard to lay off of because you see it so well at eye level, but it's really hard to catch up and get that top hand to work on time.
What a stop. Throw to first, and they get the out. 1-2. Here at Wrigley Field, ready for the bottom of the 8th. Swanson digs in.
Usually when a pitcher's had a dominant outing, he has filled up the strike zone and he's gotten ahead in the count with first pitch strikes. Well, that's exactly what this guy has done in this one. Over 70% first pitch strikes.
Can't glove it cleanly. Michael Conforto will climb in the dirt.
Well, the leadoff man gets on. You want to minimize the threat by playing sound defense. Hopefully the pitcher can get a ball on the ground and they can roll him up for 2.
The 1-1. And he grounds one back up the middle. Oh, great stop. To first, and he beats it. Everyone's safe.
Up next for the Cubs,
Michael Busch, the next Cub to hit. That one finds the zone, and that is strike 1. Line drive, base hit. And they're happy to play station to station right here. Bases loaded, nobody out. Dangerous hitter at the plate. And Bregman. JoJo Romero on to pitch here.
Well, no margin for error in terms of throwing strikes with the bases loaded. Just has to execute one pitch at a time to try to get out of this. Well, an at bat can be a little bit of a dance. Strike 1 here, but a few more pitches. We'll see how it turns out.
On the ground, 2 ball. To Weatherholt. They get the out, but the run scores on the twin killing.
It's always great when you can add a run, but in this situation with the bases loaded, double play is kind of a rally killer.
And a foul ball. Half lays off. Got him looking for the strikeout. That ends the inning, and they limit the damage. Back here at Wrigley Field, we go to the 9th. Pedro Pajes getting ready to hit, and that is out of play. Swings over the top of that one.
Gosh, a little late on that breaking ball. I don't think he recognized it out of the hand. Just a little tardy. Gonna have to regroup here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And a strikeout for the first out here in the 9th. Victor Scott digs in now. 1 for 3.
Bringing the cheese on that one.
There's a swing and a drive. That one hops against the fence. And that's a double.
Everything came together perfectly for him right there. This was a really nice swing. Didn't quite get enough behind it to get it out of here, but once it got over his head in left field, it was extra bases all the way.
Throw to second, safe. Next to hit, J.J. Weatherholt. Oh, can't pick it up cleanly. And no shot to get him at first. There's two aboard.
Clearly seeing the ball very well in this one. That's one of those you classify as just too hot to handle. Hit it on the screws, and it couldn't be fielded cleanly, but you can't really blame the defense in that case.
Base hit into the outfield. Fires it to the plate. The tag out. Two aboard, 2 outs. And now the first baseman, Alec Burleson.
RBI knock for him last time. Now a chance to drive in another run.
Swanson. They get the force, and that's the third out. Last chance for the home team. Now the Cubs' 4-hole hitter, Nico Horner.
Now pitching for
So the closer summoned from the bullpen, Riley O'Brien.
And he's got a nice lead to work with, so he should come in throwing strikes, attacking these hitters.
Bounce to the right side. Tosses to first. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Really nice job to get your first out of the ball game.
Crow Armstrong batting with 1 down, takes a strike. And that one ripped to left. 2 up, 2 down. 1 out left for the Cubs. Now the Cubs catcher, Carson Kelly.
Ball, that's low.
Got it started a little too early. Strike 1. To third. And that chance handled. That's the ball game.
Sometimes road trips can be tough. You're away from your family, but when you can win, silence that opposing crowd, it makes things just a little bit better, makes the road trip just a little bit shorter.
And your final 6-2. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew here at MLB The Show, thanks for stopping by. I'm John Shambi. Talk to you soon.